Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you all for coming. Before we get started today, what I would like to do is I would like to kind of show kind of an intention for all of us this weekend. Show kind of a willingness for an experience. Because like we were talking about last night, an experience is a very convincing thing to have. You can hear the truth and you'll know it's the truth, but then there's a part of you that's going to begin to erode that with doubts, and that's the false image of ourselves that's trying to protect itself. So, but when you have that experience stays with you, and I'm sure all of you have had experiences at this time. So when you think of an experience, I want you to kind of think about it this way. Think of layers, okay? Layers. So the first layer I want you to kind of think about that you step out of is your environment, what's outside you. So when you close your eyes, okay, you're bringing awareness inside the body, into the body. Because the body has both awareness outside and the body has awareness inside. So the first layer that you would do in the meditation is you basically separate from your environment. Bring all awareness inside. You would close your eyes. And of course you're going to be tested when this occurs. A dog might start barking or a train might pass, and then look what your mind does with this. Because then it'll start judging that noise. Because there's a part of you wants you to stay outside, and there's a part of you wants to go inside, and you have this kind of little battle going on now of wills, you know, because the part of you that wants outside is very vigilant now for the slightest noise. Because it wants to pick up something outside. Because it feels safe in this layer. It feels safe in this environment, which is really a contradiction because nobody feels safe in this world, do they? But the false image feels very safe in this world, much safer out here than in here. So when you're doing it in a meditation, when you're looking for that experience, that's where your starting point is. Basically, close your eyes and bring all awareness in. So, in theory, that should work okay, but in practice, how do you really get the awareness inside? You start feeling it throughout the body. You start at your toes. Have you anybody ever scanned your own body? People, yeah? Everybody does a scan of your own body. You would lie there and you would just basically start at your toes, and you would bring your awareness up through each leg. Through each leg, you're just scanning everything in your body. And that's how you bring the awareness. That's how you bring the awareness inside the body. And if you're finding it hard to do that, just, you know, give your toes a wiggle, give your knee a little tense up. You know, anything in the body just to bring your attention into the body and away from the outside. So that's the second layer. Can anybody tell me now what the next layer is?
Breathing?
Yes. Bingo. Why is breathing so important?
You cannot think when you are...
Yes, yes. But there's another side to that coin also. Anybody ever hear tell of the Tao? Tao inner. You know what the Tao is? It's been a mystery for thousands of years what the Tao is. Well, the Tao is everything that you cannot see. And the world in physics, they call it dark matter. And there's 6 times more Tao energy in this world than there is physical energy, what you see. So, what is it you breathe? Tao. And what is the Tao? It's energy. What energy?
Universal.
Which is?
The light.
Love.
Love. It's life. It's God. Every single breath that you take, you're breathing in God. Because God is all life. And there's no life that's not without God. And you see, I see this energy. Okay? It's around us all the time. And inside this energy, there's manifestations and there's dissolving going on all the time. We never see this. Anybody a rock chick of the 60s here or rock dude of the 60s?
Yes.
Anybody try LSD? Marty, try it?
Yeah.
And did you see the energy, the colours?
Yeah.
And if you look
You
if you look back at the people dancing and them in LSD and everything, what they were doing, see what they were doing with their hands? And you see all the psychedelic colours? But that's what this is. This is not an empty space. Every colour of the rainbow is here. And when people were taking LSD, it was distorting their projections, their mental projections, and they were seeing beyond form into the energy, because that's what you are, Chase. You're all the colours of the rainbow sitting there now, and you've just manifested into this form inside the Tao energy. You know, and this energy is here all the time. So when people were moving their hands like this, they were moving the energy and you could see the colours. Isn't that right? And it was amazing. And that's there all the time. But remember, the physical eyes were made to blind us. And I think in Tai Chi, the breath is so important. Anybody here do that? Yeah, lovely.
It's called different, but it's the same.
Yeah. You know, and the breath is so important because the breath is basically the Tao, it's God, it's energy, it's love, it's life, it's whatever you put on. But for our purposes, what Peter basically said, it takes you out of the thinking mind. Okay, when you're concentrating on the breath, you're not thinking. Isn't that so? So that's basically the layers that we're going to try and go through here for about 15, 20 minutes. We're going to remove ourselves from the outside environment. We're going to bring ourselves into the awareness and do a little scan on the body. Then we're going to focus on the breath. But before we start that, there's a little piece of the puzzle. All right? A little kind of, how would you say it? You know, there sometimes a car won't start, so you have to give it a wee kickstart. Yeah? So I have a little kickstart for people because sometimes people find it very hard to get in even to those states. So what do you think the little kickstart is?
Dancing.
Huh?
Dancing.
We're going to use, no. 2 hours in the morning for dancing.
Right?
We're going to use thoughts. Thoughts. Right? And you know the beauty about thoughts, all thoughts, right, are vibrational. Yeah? Which means that if you want to raise your vibration, how would you do it?
Change your thoughts.
Yes, to a higher vibration. Because there's no thought above this. So this is the highest thought level you can go here. Susan,
I can see.
you can see? You
Yeah,
sure?
I can see, yeah.
So what we're going to start off now here is we're going to all raise our vibrations into this higher level. Because where's the experience? Where are you going to have this experience? What level? 3. 3. So that means, remember the talk we did last night? Where would you need to be to have that experience? 2. Because you can only go through the door next. You can't jump over. You know, you can't get the elevator to skip a level. It has to go through every level. And that's so important here for people who, you know, eventually what's going to happen is the seeker will take you outside. But then you can't let go of the seeker. The seeker's a mask. And this seeker is going on all the time from childhood. We're always seeking. We have kind of a pre-programmed in there. And that's coming from our script where we're seeking out. And what we're really seeking is we're seeking what's out there so we can find what's out there to bring us back in here. So what you do now with the seeker, you turn the seeker inside out. You start using the seeker for you. In the very first of Jesus, in the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, he who seeks shall find. When he finds, he'll become troubled. And then he will become astonished. Why does he become troubled? When he seeks, he will find. So he finds the truth. Yeah?
He
So
knows that the seeker is false too. It's
Yeah.
exists.
he knows that the itself now is basically the block, is the illusion. And that's troubling. And that's going to be troubling for all of us. And that's the first separation that I'm talking about in Genesis, when kind of like, I think it was Solvay last night, you know, when you came face to face with your false image, you could see the difference. Has anybody ever seen the little Buddha?
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, you all seen it? Yeah? It's great fun. Kenny Reeves is in it, out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
And you see at the very end, when he comes face to face, remember he pulls himself out of the water and he's sitting and he's face to face with himself now. It wasn't the ego that was sitting face to face with him first. What was sitting face to face with him first? Himself. His false image. Mara. Remember? And then what happened when the false image dissolved? You seen the ego. And then the ego dissolved. Wasn't that the way it worked? You don't remember? Have a little look at it again. Just right at the very end, because remember, if you remember all the arrows were coming at him. Remember all the warriors were coming. I mean, he was sitting under the tree at the end. And all of these attacks seemed to be coming at him. And he remained still. That's defenselessness. You know, when we believe that we're getting attacked, we defend. So in that following the little Buddha, all at the very end of it, when that metamorphosis was taking place, is perfect. It's exactly what's going to happen with all of us. One day we're going to come face to face with our false image. And I think the words that he said was, you will not build your house. I will. You will not build your house in me again, or something like that, the words. And he says, you are pure illusion. Didn't fight with his false image. He didn't judge it. He just seen the truth in it. And when you do that, when you see this image of yourself for the first time, the war will be over soon after that. Because what keeps this image in place is secrecy. That it doesn't reveal itself. Because it believes it's you. It really does believe it's you. It desperately needs to believe that. And that's why it's a painful experience, this at the beginning. But after that experience is over, it's going to be a magical experience.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do here is we need to raise our vibrations. And the best way we're going to do that is we're going to think thoughts of level 2. And ideas leave not their source. Okay, so that means if you're thinking level 2, then you must be on level 2. Isn't that so? Yeah? Any questions? So, if we could just, anybody wants to sip or anything, we're going to do a little 10-minute meditation, and I'll guide us through this process. And then we'll get into some teachings. Okay, if you just close your eyes, get your both feet on the ground and totally relax. You know, let no part of your body be stressed or tense, or because we're going to be trying to remove the awareness from the body completely at some point. But for now, we're going to concentrate on a few ideas, a few thoughts that's going to raise all our vibrations together in oneness. And the first thought that we're going to think about is responsibility. I am responsible for what I see. I am responsible for what I hear. I am responsible for what I feel. I am responsible for what I think. Just repeat those words to yourself a few times. This is taking complete responsibility. And as we spoke last night, if you're doing this correctly, you will feel empowered. You'll feel in charge. And now we'll do acceptance. There's nothing outside of me that can hurt me in any way. There's no one outside of me that can make me sad, that can make me afraid, that can make me unhappy. I accept there are no problems outside of me. If I have a problem, then that problem is in my mind. Discernment. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. There is only what is true and what is false. What is true is, I am eternal. I am immortal. I am the spirit and life of God. I am created in the likeness of God, in the perfection of God. Now we bring our awareness into the body, inside the body. Start at your toes. Bring all that awareness up through every part of the body to your lower spine. Feel that lower chakra. Bring your awareness up through the spine, through your chest, your fingers, your arms, your elbows. All the way up now to your third eye. Just imagine there's a little red dot on your forehead, right between your eyes. Bring all your awareness into that part. Now begin to breathe. Deep breath. Focus on the breath. If you hear a noise, a bird, a dog, become one with it. Don't try to reject it. Don't judge it, right or wrong, good or bad. Become one with it. It is a part of you. It is you. Keep breathing. Now I want you to take 10 deep breaths each. Slow. Focus slowly on each breath. these are the last words I'm going to speak now for about 5 minutes. But in your mind, just try to create an empty vacuum, an empty space. Not seeking for anything, not looking for anything. You're just being. You're just sitting here waiting. Being. This is your natural state. Familiarize yourself with this state. And now for the next 5 minutes, just try to find that inner stillness, that inner silence, that quietness, because that's where the experience is. Give yourself a good stretch. How did you find that? Any comments? Peaceful?
Still thoughts coming.
Still thoughts coming up? Yeah. Attack thoughts or
No, just wondering.
wandering? Mind one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just shows you that's going on all the time. You know. But the beauty about this, if you were to bring this meditation into your daily experience and to your daily practice, I mean, it'll have such a dramatic change in your life and your body. And does anybody bless your food before you eat it?
Sorry?
Your food, your water?
I did.
Yeah?
I did, but now I don't.
Yeah. If you can do that, it's an unbelievable preventiveness for sickness. You know, I think you just know about that Japanese scientist, Moto, who did the experiment with the water. You know about that, Peter? You know, and he basically blessed this water, and he's seen the beauty of it. You know, and then this water was cursed, and he's seen what was that. You see, when you think of food, when you think of water and liquids and anything, you know, it's life again, it's nourishment. And if you bless that, and when I'm talking about blessing, it's not like a holy blessing, it's just love, it's thanks, it's gratitude. And what I do with my food and all my liquids, I just give thanks to the sonship.
What?
To the sonship. I give thanks to all my brothers and sisters in the sonship for providing this food, because we're all one here. Okay? I give
What
thanks.
do you say?
Yeah, I just give thanks, and I give thanks and blessings to all the plants and the animals, because that's what we're eating. You know, and I give thanks to the Tao energy that binds us in this Christ oneness.
Is Tao the same as T energy?
You put whatever name you want on it, but you see, I'm going to show you something in the metaphysics of the separation, where we are. People think that God doesn't know where we are, and some people think, you know, that we have kind of got into a spaceship and ended up someplace, you know, and God doesn't know where we are. So I want to show you where we are, where we are really. And it's ridiculous, this notion that God doesn't know where we are, or we don't know where God is, or anything like that. So basically, if you can, you know, with the meditations, even the little simple things. Now, these are not things you have to study at and learn and practice. These are just basically what people used to do thousands of years ago. And they'll make such a difference in your body, you know, with all kinds of ailments. Because you're putting the love of God inside your body. And that's what this symbolizes. Gratitude is love. And if you can do this, and you can do the meditations, you know, it's a great start in your spiritual experience. And like I said last night, the problem with spirituality in this world is we've only got spiritual people in it. Isn't that so? So a true spirit, and what spirit symbolizes, is the complete circle of oneness. Everything here is spiritual, or nothing here is spiritual. It's that simple. Because you have a group of spiritual people, and inside that group of spiritual people, you'll have another special group of spiritual people. And the more you go inside the group, the more special it becomes. Because you have this layers and layers and layers within it, and that's not spirituality. You know, the very word spirit encompasses everything and everybody. No matter what you think, who's a good boy and who's a bad boy. You know, there is no good and bad. That's not what spirituality is. Spirituality is oneness. And what symbolizes spirituality is this. It's the circle. That's the symbol of eternity. It's the symbol of everything, because the circle encompasses everything. And that's why I use the circles basically when I'm doing my diagrams. So what I would like to do now is just give a little overview of the Genesis book, because we're going to be going through that. But we're only going to touch on the first two sections slightly, and then we're going to get into self-mastery, because that's where really all the work's going to take place.